Morning, welcome to the video. It's Tuesday the 26th of August. So if you've watched any of my videos ever over the past 10 years or more, what I always say is at the start of the year when I sit down, and I'm very much an old school calendar type of guy and wall planner, I will sit down and I'll just mark off the different points of lawn care. So springtime lawn care, summer lawn care, late summer, autumn, winter, etc., etc. And I always sort of have a particular kind of day or week where I will start. And that's all just in theory. That changes from year to year depending on weather and things like that. Springtime generally starts, so the scarifying season generally starts third week of March. Now that would be back from my greenkeeping days when I was greenkeeping as well as doing the lawn guy. Second week of March was always course maintenance week. So we always had to work a course maintenance week. And then I would take a week off afterwards and try and smash out all my scarifying jobs. And I've just kind of stayed with that date from then. But if you think 2018, third week of March, we had snow. So of course, it all got postponed. But at the start of the year, what I'll do is just map it out. So the first day after the August bank holiday, for me, that's when I start the autumn lawn care season. The reason for that being, I always see that kind of August bank holiday is kind of the last time you might have a bit of a garden party, family round, friends round, etc., etc. And then after that, you've got a week and basically until the kids go back to school. And then it's really just sort of club start up and you're sort of gearing into that kind of run into Christmas, really, as crazy as that sounds. Also, generally kids are off. So if I go earlier, that's going to disrupt the kids being able to use the lawn and things like that. So, and again, it depends on the client. Some clients don't have children, so there isn't that issue. Some are actually away. So again, that isn't an issue, but it's just a rough kind of estimate to when I start the lawn care. So so today's a bit of a transitional day. So today what I'll be doing is I've just printed off basically I have two lists. One is all my clients I've ever had, and another list is my current clients. So that can change. That can be that some clients aren't in need of a service, but then actually years later they come back and say, oh, actually we'd like to, we've just moved house and we need to get the lawn done again, or returfed. Other clients are just one-time clients. That's kind of is what it is. And then other clients I've had for over 10 years, and I've seen them weekly over those 10 years. So I have a sort of a current client list, and that will be obviously the new ones that they're generally in there as well, unless they're a one-time service. So I've just updated my current client list, and I've just written down basically, because some of those current clients are actually just mowing clients. So if I show you, this one here, these are all just mowing clients, and they're all color coded into different areas. So as you know, if you've been following this, generally on a Thursday, on a Friday, I only have 3 clients, but those 3 clients, there's such big lawns, they take the full day. But then on a Tuesday, I could have 10 or 11 clients, and they're much smaller ones. So it's I guess it's just the way it is sort of around here with the lawns and things like that. So anyway, so today I've just printed off the current client list as to what needs to be done. I've also got a couple of jobs, so some turfing jobs booked in, and I've said to them, look, I'm starting the lawn care season now, so I can't do anything until late October maybe, and that depends on the weather and stuff like that. So they've been happy to wait. All they wanted was a date of, yes, I can do it, and it'll be roughly around this time. So I've added them to the list just so I don't forget that they're end of October at the latest. I've got these turfing jobs that need to be done. So yes, so then also what I then need to do is go up to the container later, and I need to work out what fertilizers I've got, how much I've got of them, and what I need to order. And then I need to work out how many of these lawns will require top dressing, how many of these lawns will require overseeding, etc., etc., just to make sure I've got enough of what I need and place an order for anything else. It has begun to rain. I don't think we're going to get much rain, and I don't think it's going to be for that long. But it's quite a nice kind of misty kind of, but with a little bit of weight to it. So this will be really good to kind of start dampening down the lawns, because this is the problem. It's okay saying, right, we're gonna overseed your lawn, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and it's hard enough, because I've spoken about this, about the lawns which are in a hosepipe ban, and somebody quite rightly messaged in the last video saying that, you know, you can certainly with turf. I've not actually seen it for seeding, but certainly with turf, you, even in a hosepipe ban, you can use your hosepipe for 28 days after the work has been complete. So you can hear that rain. Can you hear it? It's nice. It smells. Windows open. It smells amazing, which is absolutely correct. But if the ground is absolutely rock hard because it hasn't had any water on it all summer, you might find that actually you can't aerate, because the aeration, the tine's just bouncing off. You can't rotivate it because the blades just can't quite get into the ground. So yes, you can water new turf in a hosepipe ban, but if the ground is not soft enough or damp enough to do any prep work, I really wouldn't recommend it. Now, I did a couple a month or so ago, and that was really touch and go. The rotavator really struggled to get into the ground, but I was lucky there. So before you start these jobs, I would just consider how much moisture is already in the ground, and whether the client can actually get some pre-waters in, which sounds ridiculous because they might have a dusty, weedy, bare lawn, and actually asking them to pre-water it just to try and soften it up so the machinery can get into the ground might seem nuts to them, but will be really helpful. Yes, so that's kind of today, a bit of a transitional day. I've got the rest of my late summer feeds that I need to get out, so they'll all be done today. And then and actually it's a short week this week, as it always tends to be, because we are going away, as we always do around this sort of time. So yes, so really, I'm doing a Thursday tomorrow, which is Wednesday, and I'm doing my Friday on Thursday. I also take the van away to be serviced, MOT'd, so while I'm away, the van's is off the road, so I don't have any days where I can't drive, essentially. So that's also booked in now as well. So I'll probably be without the van on Thursday actually, but I won't be carrying any equipment that needs to be put in a van. So that's working out quite well. What I will do is I've dropped a mower off on my Friday lawns. Obviously I've got the ride-on tractor as well, so that's all taken care of, and I'll just leave that there, and then that'll be picked up next time I'm around with the van. This is also the great thing about having two of most machines, is that I can have one strategically placed, and then I can just use the other one while that one's kind of not in the container or in the van. So yeah, I guess what I'll do is I'll just crack on with what I'm doing, and then I shall see you out on a lawn somewhere for a late summer feed. Okay, you might remember this one last time we were here. That whole kind of bottom left-hand corner was being levelled and brought up to the height. I never really noticed a massive difference beforehand, and I've got to be quite honest, I don't really notice a difference now. All I remember is in the video is that the drainage lines were not particularly good. You can kind of see one in there, and then this one's still on show, don't know why, could be irrigation line. But yeah, other than that, and it's not been cut. Like, I don't know why the stripes aren't really burnt into this. I thought this was being cut regularly, but who knows? Who knows what goes on when I'm not here? I just come here, chuck some feed down and leave. So as well as feeding the couple of lawns I did yesterday, and a little bit of office admin, I also did some stuff around the container, as I say, stock take on the fertilizers, etc, etc. Also, one of the jobs I had to do was fix a hole in the van. So essentially this is the van, and you put wet mowers in here when you're leaving jobs. A lot of the products I use contain iron. Iron's very corrosive. Now if you just look down at the footwell here, I assume all the water runs into here, so I'll just take this off a minute. And everything you can see that's kind of purple, that was rust. So what I've done is I've sanded it all down with a wire brush in a drill, and then I've just put some rust inhibitor, is that what it's called, down, and that's what has gone purple. But the problem was I had two holes form here, so they weren't as big as that, but what I have done is, by the time I'd sort of broken through, got rid of the crap, put the little cutting blade on the Dremel and just cut all the sort of the thin flimsy crap away. This is the hole that I'm left with. So underneath is some gauze that I've sort of attached to the backside or underneath, and then I was able to build this up and fill the hole in. So this is like a fiberglass compound that I've used to plug. There was another hole forming here, so I need to now I mean, it's not like bodywork or anything, it's not really on show, so I don't really need to sand it down or anything, but what I am going to do is just kind of paint it, just get some white hammerite or something, just to kind of like help protect it that little bit more. Okay, so this is the final Thursday lawn, first thing on a Wednesday. Very confusing. Very dry, but actually it was like autumn with leaves down, so I was just hoovering them up. But it looks as though this afternoon and for the rest of the week we've got rain due, so yeah, it's cut down, and I expect to, and also it's going to have that extra day's growth next week. And also the other thing is, although it's really, you know, like dry in the middle, the edges where it's watered, that grass was about 4 or 5 inches tall in some places, so it kind of looked really weird. So there's the rain. This should have come in, well, I suppose about now. Maybe it's a little bit late, but not too bad. I've essentially got 2 of the 3 jobs done, and the one to go is the one which you see me use the John Deere mower at. It's a little bit annoying. I didn't really think it through. I should have finished at this one, and then on my way home I could have dropped the hater off, but I'm here, I need to go to there, but actually the hater needs to be dropped off there, so I've kind of got to do that and then home, whereas actually if I just come round I could have then just gone home that way. But anyway, it's what it is. Just trying to organise so next week is a mowing week, so that's kind of set in stone. It is what it is. Then the following week, if I'm right in thinking, so next week is a mowing week. Then the following week is Groundsfest. So Groundsfest Tuesday the 9th. That would be my plan, to go on Tuesday the 9th. And for me, that's a lawn care week. So actually Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are free. As in I haven't quite finalised my week yet. With a lot of these sort of things, it's waiting for the weather now. Obviously, a lot of these lawns, they're so dry, there's no sense in trying to aerate them or scarify them or do anything to them. But then equally, if I do choose to scarify and it's torrential rain, then that's not going to happen either. So I like to have a lot of work kind of penciled in, but finalise it nearer the time. I have, however, got all the pedestrian flailing I need to do. Now, you may have seen in the sort of as of today, I suppose, I've really been sort of pushing the tractor flail mower, but we've got the pedestrian as well. So for those large areas or areas where just access is an issue, we've got these 85cm Trackmaster flail. So that's the one I'm going to be using, and I'll probably do that on Monday the 8th. And then I've also got certainly 1, maybe 2 tree stumps that I need to grind as well. So I might do that over the Monday and the
Wednesday, maybe. The only reason I said that is because I've already said to people, generally I go on the Tuesday to Celtics, so if other people have planned around going on the Tuesday, I don't want to mess them around. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at with that. But yeah, just trying to get that all organised and make sure. So at this property, well, my first sort of usual Thursday lawn, I would show you, but it's raining. There's lots of horse paddocks and things like that. So I've just spoken to one of the ladies who's had me do some work for her before. Usually it's been spraying and things like that. She wants me to basically flail down a big bracken area. There's another area as well, which is she kind of joint hires, I guess you'd say it. So basically you've got your big field, it's all split into sections. Each woman who's got a horse has a section. They're responsible for that section and any weeds that grow in it, any cutbacks, anything. They just are in charge of their own one. But then there's a paddock behind me, which they can use, I suppose, in sort of emergencies of the horses have eaten all the grass and there's nothing there. They can let that one grow relatively long. However, it hadn't been needed for a while, so the grass was completely out of hand. So that needs a cut too. So that could be a tractor job. But while I've got the flail mower, the pedestrian one, to be honest, it'll be it's not a big enough area that's a bit of an issue, and I've got to bring the pedestrian flail here to this property. I'll put a picture up so you know which one I'm talking about. I need to bring the pedestrian flail here, so I may as well do it while I'm here, essentially. Right, I am going to, I don't know what I'm going to do. Either I wait here for the rain to stop and then go to the next one, or I go there and then wait for the rain to stop. The only difference is the other one has absolutely no signal on my phone, so I just can't do any paperwork or anything as such, because the phone doesn't bloody work. So I'm better off actually sitting here and waiting for the rain to pass and then moving on. Also, the prevailing wind, it will stop raining here first, so as soon as it stops raining here I can then start driving, and then by the time I get there it would have stopped there. So so that will work in my favour a little bit too. Okay, and this is one of the paddocks I was talking about. See, there's some horses, and yeah, essentially it's all this bracken that she wants cut down. So I'm just having an investigation just to see what it is, etc, etc. So it's not that thick and it's not that wide, it's just quite long, and she sort of wants it as tight into the fence line as she can. To the next, and it kind of worked. Kind of got here, got the front cut, and then it rained again. So here's the turfing job I did at the, whenever it was a while ago. So we are in a hosepipe ban. So what you can see is that section out there, which really gets the sun. This bit obviously gets shaded, gets a bit of shade from there, and then gets the rest of the sun. This gets a bit more. Okay, so Friday, sorry, it's not Friday, is it? It's Thursday. I have to keep remembering this. So traditionally what I would always do is tonight is drop the van off for its MOT and service, etc., and then leave it essentially with him over the weekend, pick it up on the Monday once we're back. Now the problem is, I think there's a few things wrong with the van, and I'm concerned that if he was to order the bits, he would not potentially get them till the next day. Now the guy who does my van's done it for years and years and years, great guy, but he now in his sort of senior years of working has decided not to work Fridays. So that now means that he would do the work on the Monday. The problem being, as I say, is if he can't get the parts, or the parts don't turn up till that evening or the following day, I'm left without a van on Tuesday. And the whole point of organising this as I do is that I don't miss any work days where I am actually scheduled to work. So that's meant that last night I've had to drop the van off, so he's going to MOT it and service it today, and hopefully and if, touch wood, there is anything wrong, it can be fixed and it's a reasonable price. Now if the parts don't turn up, they're going to turn up tomorrow, which is fine. He doesn't work tomorrow, he can service them on, he can fit those parts on Monday. I get my van back for fortnightly mowing on Tuesday, so it should all work out pretty well. Now, as I say, what I've done is I've dropped off a hater at my usual Friday run, so it's already there, so I don't need to take anything big. Now, he has a courtesy car, and I shall show you it now. Essentially, it's a very old 206. But what that means is, because my ride-on mower's already at the job, my push mower's already at the job, my strimmer, which is a part of a combi unit, so that I can take that apart, my blower, my batteries, got a charger just in case. I have filled up all the machines with fuel, so this is empty should I shouldn't need it, but it's there just in case. Got my work boots, and that is essentially all I need for today. Yes, that's it. Right, I am going to go to work now in the 206, and I'll see you there. Okay, well, it's definitely needed. I'll just slide in a picture of what it was looking like last year. It's actually a lot of leaves coming off, so it's warranted the clean up. Sunshine's there though. It's coming to an end. Okay, so I didn't really show you too much today, just because it was in and out of the showers constantly. And I wanted to get done by a reasonable time. But yeah, made it work. Obviously in the car. Couldn't charge my phone also, which was a big thing, because although I took a phone charger, I forgot that the car I was driving didn't have a USB port to charge it on. So yeah, anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Next week it's fortnightly mowing, and then we're getting into a bit of stump grinding actually, and some flail mowing. So yeah, all good stuff, and then from then on it'll be lawn care up till leaf season, I suppose. Probably a bit of both. Anyways, like, subscribe, comment, whatever the things is you do.